What is this? Jack Posobiec confronts Jamie Raskin, gets assaulted by Democrat union workers at Union Station. What is this?
For redress agreements, we're going to defend the right to assemble. Yeah. We know with Dr. King that the greatness of America is the right to protest for what is right. Against lawbreakers who take office. And that's where we are today. I'll leave you with my friends with the words of the great Marylander Frederick Douglass.
Jamie, why did you lose the popular vote? Why did you lose every single swing state? Why did you lose? Get off me. Jamie, what is this? Why did, let me talk. Let me talk. Let me talk.
Let me talk. Let me talk. Let me talk.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. They're assaulting me, you motherfucker. Why'd you leave?
I do have to say, by the way, it is like pretty annoying, I guess, that it seems like only Republican grifter operatives do stuff like this. I don't know. It'd be cool if there were people more militantly protesting. I've not gotten over the fact that the pro-Palestinian protesters basically never hounded right-wing rallies or Trump rallies in the lead up to the election and have still basically not done so. I understand. I don't think that means they're like anti-democratic grifters or anything. I think it's just born of a false assumption on their part that there's only value in confronting people whose minds can be changed. But what they have to understand is that A, there are Republicans whose minds can be changed about Israel. It's not as strong of a topic as some other ones that Republicans run on. And two, or sorry, B, I guess. I said A, so I should say B. And B, the idea that you should only protest if, an opponent politician if the people there are going to agree with you is really dumb. Where did that misconception come from? Being disruptive and making them angry also works. You know? I don't understand where that misconception came from. They're like, well, like the only point is to show up so that like maybe the people there change their mind or the politician change their mind. You're there to be disruptive. I mean, you're there to like farm clips, basically. You're clip farming. You're aura farming. You're trying to manufacture a hype moment, in my opinion.
Can I get my phone? No. Back up.
Can I get my phone? No. I guess he did get his phone at some point. That's funny. What about security risks? We're all going to die, man. I don't know, like, I mean, it's like, we're kind of past that point, right? Of that logic, a little bit. I didn't know Jack Posobiec sounded so soy. I mean, you didn't? The replies are all blue check psychos, though. Twitter is past gone. I do think it's worth remembering that when people like Jack Posobiec, just like a Nazi troll or whatever, do stuff like this, he gets attention from Republican politicians who will use it as a lever or like a wedge or a fulcrum or whatever to make their points. But Democrats still really just don't like touch any of their independent people, you know? Like, what's the name of that one YouTube, the Democrats on YouTube, and they show up at Trump rallies and like troll Trump supporters and they ask them questions that make Trump supporters look really bad. They do a good job of it. It's like there's two of them. They kind of have like a Da Vinci vibe, not in appearance, but maybe in kind of like enthusiasm. Walter Masterson. I might be thinking of Masterson here. I might be mixing up some people. I'm not entirely sure, but you get the point. You have a person in your mind. The thing that's bothersome, I guess, is that Walter does a good job. Why the fuck aren't more Democratic politicians working with them? Like, genuinely. I'm not talking about any back-end deals or money changing hands. I mean, why aren't they, after they attend a Trump rally in, say, Michigan, why aren't there Michigan reps and Michigan senators and Michigan governor, whatever, who are like, wow, that was crazy. Want to talk about it? And then they like reboost it and talk about it and make like a big news thing about it. It's like, no matter how straight-laced Democrat you are. And I remember Walt Masterson isn't like a crazy lefty psycho or whatever path, you know, he's not like me or anything. I think that his message and his way of talking is palatable to mainstream Democrats. And they still don't do it, you know? You understand what I'm talking about? Yeah, that fencer who refused to fight the trans competitor, even though she fought against male fencers that same day. Like, I refuse to fight this trans woman in fencing because of her biological advantage. But she fought men. Fencing is a mixed sport. It's not strength-based. And she was on Fox News and had 3 segments out that same day. It's all just a grift, dude? Yeah, it is. But, like, why don't Democrats do the non-grift good version of it? It doesn't have to be a grift. Like, if Walter Masterson does a good bit, the Democrats can just capitalize on it, but they never do. They never do. I remember when they disqualified that chess player for being trans. Yeah, that's because trans people have an unfair advantage in cognitive skills as well. That's actually not fake. Trans people have on average a higher IQ than cis people by a pretty significant amount. The average trans woman has like, isn't it like 114, 116? Isn't that literally true? Wait, really? Yeah, I think it might be a perceptive bias. My guess is that you need to be a little bit more intelligent than average to question your identity to the extent that you could recognize that you're trans. There also might be, there are other biases like educational. Being left-leaning also is more likely, like you're more likely to be intelligent. Being educated, you're more likely to be intelligent. So you're more likely to be left-leaning if you're more educated, and if you're left-leaning, you're more likely to be trans, because if you're right-wing, you wouldn't acknowledge that you're trans. You would just like suppress those feelings or stay in the closet forever, or not even acknowledge them or recognize what they are or whatever else. So yeah, my guess is it's probably not like derived from trans people being smarter, but more a bunch of like associative factors. Of course, I don't think anyone's innately trans or cis, so I guess, you know, you could say that the factors that create transness could be concurrent with the factors that create intelligence, and that more intelligent people are more likely to be trans, in the sense that the things that would make a person intelligent or higher IQ would also be more likely to prompt transness in them. Just a guess? Can't really say. Correlation, not causation. Yeah, it's definitely not causation. It's just like how layered is the correlation. You're overthinking it. Being smart makes you more likely to pursue a career in IT. A career in IT makes you trans. That's also very possible.